Are you ready to vibe? You're listening to Creepy Vibes Only.
Okay, dude.
I'm so excited for this. It's very different. I don't think it's what you expected at all.
I'm scared.
I hope in terms of content is what you're scared of.
Yeah, I'm excited for like the surprise. I'm like, she's for sure gonna like fuck with me. Like it's gonna be scary.
Well, so what I'm looking forward to is inviting you and our dear listeners to join us at our first ever Keyboard Campfire.
Ooh.
So I don't even remember what I was in like the first episode. I was kind of explaining that I used to get in trouble because I would sit on top of the clubhouse at daycare with like Ryan and the other little kids we went with, and I would tell scary stories.
Yes.
And like they're always like, and these stories are always just like random ones that like I had heard through like the grapevine or whatever else. Like none of them were my own like
typical
original
grapevine of like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, you know, like
did you hear about the murder?
Yeah, like did you hear about the ghosts? So what I have collected for you is I went on the Google.
The Google, yes.
The Google. And the great wide web, as it is. And I typed in something along the lines of like creepiest Reddit threads.
Ah, shit.
Because I love Reddit, because it's wild. So what I've done is I have a ton of like stories, anywhere from like creepypastas to like their own true stories that users have shared over the years. I scoured, found some that like I think there's like a good range of like creepiness to non-creepiness.
Okay.
And some are long and some are short.
Okay.
And what I thought we could do is I could tell them to you and then we could rank them on a scale of sleepy to creepy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I thought that would be fun.
It's very fun.
So if you guys haven't quite figured out, this is like kind of like a special episode. So we're going to do kind of like feature episodes and like different just formats as time goes on because we want to. And this is our show.
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna
you only live once.
YOLO. Ghost style.
YOLO.
If you're a ghost, yo-ho. You only haunt once.
There you go.
I'll be here all week. All right. Anyways, before we get started, Steph, how are you doing? What's keeping you up this week?
Aside from the universe trying to murder me, I'm fine.
Okay. Retrograde's been really rough for Steph.
Yeah, it's been, you know, I like almost concussed myself this morning while I was feeding Milo.
So what exactly did you do?
Okay, so I went to boot camp on Thursday, and like, so I've been doing boot camp for a while, but it's been virtual. So I'm doing with my own equipment, right? So it's still a good workout, but it's not like the same. So when you go in person, like you're flipping tires, there's sleds, like it's fucking intense. And since then, I can't move at all. So I was bending down to like give Milo his bowl as like the way it would hurt the least amount. And I don't know how, but I guess like my head was too forward. So when I got up, it just like the counter whacked me in the back of the head. And I had to like sit down for 10 minutes and just like breathe.
It's like, how many brain cells did that cost?
Like, how many Milos am I seeing right now?
Just imagining them like, you know, in like old cartoons, they'd have like the little birdies like running around. I'm just imagining like little beagles.
100%.
Going around your head. Jesus Christ, Stephanie.
So it's been a week.
Yeah, no kidding.
But speaking of yesterday, so last night, vibes was off in the house, like super off. So I went upstairs, and like usually if Milo's sleeping when he's downstairs, he'll stay there for a while. But he like I was brushing my teeth and he ran up upstairs and sat in the bathroom with me and just like would stare at the stairs. And like he was all like nervous and staring. I'm like, uh-oh. So I'm like, it's okay, Milo, we're fine. And then we go to bed. And the whole night, like, of course, typical Milo, he was so antsy, he couldn't sleep. And so he kept shifting around. But instead of like going around me, he would step on top of me and walk all over me so I couldn't sleep. And then like I think around like, I want to say like 3 or 4 a.m., the TV decides to turn back on downstairs. And my dad, like, he turned it off when he got up, and like we were talking about it later, and he's like, "You turned off the TV, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did. I went to bed early enough that I know." And he's like, "Well, usually it does that when, you know, the power goes out." I'm like looking at him like, it's the ghost.
That's it?
That's what happened last night. It was
Ew.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. What's keeping
retrograde.
you up at night?
I mean, nothing as exciting as all that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got a new game for my Nintendo Switch. So
which one?
Story of Seasons.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's cool. It is cool. It's a lot like Stardew Valley. So I have my little farm, and it's funny. The game like very much encourages you to like foster relationships with like the NPCs in the town, and honestly, I'm just ignoring them. I just want to have the most lumber and stones. So
we have to go back to our farm on Stardew. We abandoned it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I wonder how. Well, at least it like kind of gets frozen in time. It's not like Animal Crossing where it's like, "Hey, you've been gone for 4 months. Wow."
There's no
and
more
they guilt
island.
trip you. Yeah, it's just like one big weed garden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I've just been playing that, not sleeping. But somehow still awake during the day. So I don't know. I can't explain that.
You're crazy.
No.
You're a toughie.
Caffeinated. Anyways, let's stoke the flames, grab a snack, grab a drink.
Yes, I have my wine, I have my chocolate, I have my water, my blanket. I'm ready to go.
Right on. All right. So, story 1 comes from user Spider Lane Wales. 10 out of 10 name. That's just, I like it when it's like 3 just random words. So I'm just going to read it verbatim. So, haven't told this one in a while. I was young, 5 to 7, somewhere in there. I was sleeping in between my parents for whatever reason. I woke up. I remember the clock reading around 4 a.m. There was something standing by the window, looking out into the front yard. It looked like a man in a brown wool robe, around 6'4" or so. I started to stir and sat up in bed, and the thing turned and looked at me. Right? Dear God, that face. Extremely pale white skin, lots of really pronounced wrinkles, and the face drooped like it was melting and down into a really pointy chin. Almost similar to a scream mask, but with all the features of a living being. Its mouth was hanging open and its eyes were wide, almost like it was worried or frightened. It kept its gaze on me while it moved away from the window, in front of the bed, and out the open bedroom door.
It's the Hat Man.
Apparently. Okay, but like actually. The second it exited the room, the lights turned on their own, and both my parents jumped up on either side of me, breathing heavily like they'd just woken up from a nightmare. To be clear, I was fully able to move during this. I don't think it was sleep paralysis, but I'm not sure what it could have been other than some kind of demon or a really fucking ugly ghost. I've never seen it since, but I can still picture it clear as day.
It's disgusting.
So that was from like a thread where it was like, what's like the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you?
Ugh.
So Stephanie, cool. I do think it was like the Hat Man really fits in with that really well.
Yeah.
Like very much his MO.
Yeah, like let me terrify you and fuck off into your house. Cheers.
And goodbye. Jesus.
Yeah, that was the Hat Man. He just had an accident before. Melted his face off.
Yeah.
I have time to fix it.
He sat too close to the campfire. So, scale of sleepy to creepy, how'd that make you feel?
So like sleepy being 1, creepy being 10, right?
Yeah, or like anywhere in between. You could just add another adjective in there.
Oh, it's too late to think.
It's also, dear listeners, it's 8:04 p.m. This is what it's like when you're almost 30.
Less than a month. I would give it a 7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You?
I mean, I don't really get creeped out.
Look at you.
Well, I don't know. I'm more creeped out by the notion that like there was like I don't necessarily subscribe to this belief,
Mm-hmm.
but I read somewhere that like at some point in your life you're pretty well guaranteed to at least walk by one serial killer.
Yeah, that's right. What if it was someone who broke in, just was wearing that like scream mask, and was just like, "Oh, they caught me. Let me just pretend I'm a ghost."
Yeah, that would creep me out. If it's
That's
like
probably what happened.
yeah, that would do me a big heckin' spook. It's not so much
just
like
chilling with the person's robe, be like, "Yeah, this is cool. I'm about to murder these people," and then kid wakes up and he's like, "Fuck, never mind."
nope. Okay, so I say I don't get creeped out. I have to retract that. I'm fully gonna get called out because like there was a period of time where like when I would be alone in my house, there were a couple nights where I'd be like just so arbitrarily sleep in like the walk-in closet when I was younger. So I'm just gonna out myself. I don't want to be a liar.
It's the worst place to be. You're trapped.
I know, and I fully like made fun of you for doing that previously. But listen, I was like 22 doing this, so I don't know. Different Emma. 29-year-old Emma, being through a pandemic, no longer experiences fear. Anyways, this is a short and sweet one. I really like this one. I think you're gonna enjoy this too.
Oh, nice.
So Space Delivered. This is like also like from a thread that's 5 years old. So hopefully they've had a chiller life since then. My high school girlfriend has a little brother who was like 3 or 4 at the time. One day we were babysitting him and playing with cars on the floor. Out of nowhere, he starts looking really concerned and looking around. We keep playing, but he stands up and walks straight into the garage. We followed him in there, and he just kept looking at the wall and started crying. My girlfriend kept asking him what was wrong, and through all of his weeping, he gets this out. He says, "I am his." Still freaks me out just thinking about it.
Kids see shit.
Yeah, allegedly.
So like one of my like cousins, she pulled that shit on us. Like it was years ago. We were at dinner and she's like, we're all just talking chill, and she like just stopped. She's like, I can see the dead, right? I was just like, I'm going home.
Oh my god.
I'm done. She's like, yeah. All like matter of fact, like it was the most normal thing you could say. And I just like look at my uncle and I'm like, yeah, bye.
What a chill like version of like I see dead people. Listen, I see the dead, and what? And what?
But yeah, kids, they see them. They're like imaginary friends, a ghost.
Sick.
100%.
Love that. 10 out of 10.
Yes, that was creepy.
Yeah, so how do you rank it?
Just because it's a kid, I'm giving it an 8.
Okay, because you have like a bit more faith in it being like legit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like it. So I've got another really short one for you. This is from a user who has since deleted their account from that 5-year-old thread.
Rude.
I know, honestly, just like own it. Sorry, I've been rewatching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and
wow.
Love her or hate her, Lisa Rinna with her Own It fucking gets me so good.
Stand her. Cannot.
So I know. I really am team Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, me too.
But you know what? Garcelle, fucking amazing.
See, like I just love LVP because of like everything else that she does outside of the show.
Yeah, like Yulin and stuff, and
like she's just a good businesswoman. That's why I love her.
Yeah, definitely like someone to look up to in terms of like entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, Garcelle is great. Crystal Minkoff seems fucking amazing.
I haven't
Kathy
watched it so
Hilton.
long. I have no idea who those people
we'll
are.
We'll do a marathon. Kathy Hilton just joined the season. Very
Don't know
entertaining.
who that is. Yeah.
Kathy, like Paris Hilton's mom.
Oh well. I think if you showed me a picture, I'd be like, I don't know who this is.
I don't know her. Anyways, I digress. Okay, I've got another shorty for you, and then I've got a long one after.
Oh.
This one, like, anyways, I heard this is another kid one. I fucking love kid ones. Kids are crazy. Yes. Okay. I heard my 2-year-old daughter talking in a room in the middle of the night. I went in and asked her what she was doing. She said, talking to Samantha. She's on the ceiling.
Ah!
My wife had miscarried a few months prior. It was a girl. We were going to name her Samantha.
Okay, why is she haunting you? Like, that's not chill.
I don't know.
Don't be on the ceiling.
Also, yeah, you know, like I was picturing her kind of like Spider-Man, just like, hey, but like, is she in fetal form if she was a miscarry? Like, is she just like
so I don't know how I know this, but like I was watching a show and I think it was like some psychics or like not experience, but like how they see it. But they say that like if you miscarry, like the kid will just kind of grow with like they'll just, even if they're ghosts, they'll like grow and go along. So she would be like the same age as their kid. If it was 2 months before, right? She would be like
a few months.
I don't know. Yeah,
she's like a baby. Maybe she's just talking to the baby. I don't know.
But now she's on the fucking ceiling. That's not Samantha.
Yeah,
it's the ring. Whoever.
Yeah, Samara. Yeah, zero interest in living that. Yeah. How do you rate it?
I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. The ceiling is not cool.
Yeah, the ceiling is definitely not where you want to see anything, let alone a baby or something else impersonating a baby.
If there's ghosts around, just listen up, guys. The ceiling is not cool.
Yeah, ceiling 0-10.
No.
So that reminds me. No, it's like my favorite, like it's one of my favorite stories. So Katie and Bober, when they were dating, they have since gotten married. Definitely happy ending, guys, not a sad one. I guess Katie was staying over, and in the middle of the night, Bober sat up and like looked at the corner of the room, and Katie was like, "What?" And he was like, "Can't you see them?" in his sleep, and just lied back down.
Oh my god.
So funny. So
remember
funny.
My ex, he would have, when we were in this like one basement apartment, he had like these like sleepwalking, like terror, like he would, it was, if I'm like surprised I'm not dead, because he would wake up. No, but he would do the same thing. He would wake up and look behind me and be like, "Hi there," and like I would just like back as to whatever he's saying, and I'm like, don't look. Other times he would like go and hide behind the door and like peek at me and just like stare at me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, did I not tell you? Like, I'm pretty sure he wanted to kill me.
In his sleep. That alone would have been like, you know what? We can't live like this.
It was intense. There was once, and like he was sleeping at check, but like all I hear is 3, 2, 1, and he like punched me in the stomach.
Oh my god.
I turned around, like I had to like shook him, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And he like was like woke up, like it was intense.
Jesus Christ.
The ghosts are trying to possess people when they're sleeping.
Oh my god.
I have so many stories about that apartment. It was insane.
Great. Well, that could be a future episode eventually.
I'll add it to Reddit.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just the creepypastas. Okay, I've got a long one for you.
Okay, go.
So this is from B Chronic.
Ooh.
From 5 years ago. This happened about 6 years ago, so I guess like 11 years ago now. Wow. A couple friends and I decided to go out into the woods and build a base camp in parentheses. Not parentheses, quotation marks. It's 8 o'clock. It's late, nice, guys.
It's at 8:13, guys.
Yeah, it's very late. We brought axes, machetes, fuel, and a tent. We walked deep into the woods and spent all day cutting down trees and building a makeshift fence. Being idiots, as it became dark, we realized we had no way to see. We started a fire, and I realized if we pour some fuel onto a small can, we can light the fumes at the top and create a torch. We made several torches and placed them in the surrounding woods.
There's like 100% not a girl there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
all men.
I've like skimmed through and like based on upvotes added these, and as I'm reading through it, I'm like, that is a fire hazard. Anyways, yeah, there's definitely no female on this trip. It got very dark, so it got very dark. We need more logs for the fire, so I was out about 20 meters from the camp, and I could hear my friends talking. I was swinging at the tree when I felt something hit my back. I froze. And it turned around, staring into the dark forest at the edge. Wait. Oh, sorry, I misread that. I froze and turned out, staring into the dark forest right at the edge of my. What the fuck is that? Is really weird phrasing. Okay, I froze and turned out around, staring into the dark forest right at the edge of lights from our torches. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, I saw nothing and assumed something had fallen off the tree and hit my shoulder. Right as I was about to swing, something hits me in the back of the head, and it hurt enough to make me swing around again. I saw a rock at my feet, and I was terrified now. Turning back towards camp, I could hear my friends and see the light from the fire. I kept turning my head, looking in the darkness. About halfway to camp, a rock flew by me, missing my head by inches. What the fuck?
It's Bigfoot.
Okay, let me keep going.
Yeah.
This is so good. I ran back to camp and told everyone, and they saw the terror on my face. We sat for a while before more rocks came.
Holy shit.
We couldn't see anyone or anything, just rocks flying into camp. I guarantee you there's some fucking like teenagers just like having a great night. Needless to say, we didn't sleep, just chilled in the tent, holding machetes and keeping a big
You
fire.
did leave?
Yeah, well, I mean, also they have machetes, like rocks versus machetes.
Stoned. Fucking run.
Yeah. There's so many rocks in the morning, the thought still terrifies me. Yes. We were deep in the woods, so no one else should have been there. I want to say it was a person, but we didn't hear or see anything, just so many rocks. And there's an edit. It's like, wow, thanks for taking so much interest in my story. Just to clarify, there were no cliffs or any sort. We were in rural Saskatchewan in Canada. Of course, they're in Canada. I would love to say it was Bigfoot, but the forest was silent. If it was Bigfoot, then he's light on his feet. All you could hear was the rocks hitting the ground. Thought of laying there, hearing these rocks still freaks me out. There should have been no people around. We were really deep in the forest. We were far away from any kind of town or settlement, almost a nature reserve. Walking back to my friends, I felt like the whole forest was watching me. Haunting feeling to be so vulnerable and trying to keep it together while wondering if you're crazy or if you're really in danger. And then also adds, there was a lot of rocks in the morning, well over 100 ranging in sizes. Some were scary large. None were larger than the size of a fist.
This guy be traumatized by rocks.
Oh my god. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh my god, that's sorry. I feel like I ruined like the creep factor because I genuinely found that really funny. It had like 1,000 upvotes or something crazy like that. That's so good.
It's Bigfoot. That's what he does.
Is that really? He just throws rocks at you?
Yeah. He does.
Like
so I was watching. So like it's, I don't know if it's still on, but it's like the most entertaining show in the world where it's finding Bigfoot, and it's just these people that go and they like make these weird noises, and they're like, the science says that Bigfoot does this, and this is how he mates, and like it's the funniest thing ever. But all of like the Bigfoot stories, they say that they know it's him because he like just chucks rocks at you.
He's like the
That's his thing.
Dodgeball player.
But no one sees him because he just like pelts rocks at you, so you go, and he's like, good, coast is clear.
He's like, get out of here. It's like an old man throwing rocks on his lawn. Like, get out of here, you kids. This is my forest.
But like, especially if they were big ass rocks, like for sure it was Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's the size of your fist. That's a good sized rock. Like that could make you unalive. Jesus Christ.
It's so dumb that he's stayed. Just run for the car. I don't care how far it is. Just go.
Maybe they were drunk?
Well, I mean, it's like someone's bound to be slower than you. Just keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
You're fine.
It's like there's this thing. It's like, I don't need to be faster than a bear, but I need to be faster than you.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you can manage one person behind you, you're fine.
Yeah.
Just go. And you have a machete.
Yeah. I don't know that Bigfoot's machete proof. Also, like,
I mean,
what etymological advancement that would be? No, that's not the right word. It's not etymology. Biological? I don't know. Who knows?
I just really enjoy that they're like, there's rocks, so we stayed in the tent.
Yeah,
you're getting stoned. Leave.
Yeah. This thin tent is definitely what you need to prevent rocks.
I just go to hold my machete. I hope it doesn't catch me.
Yeah, because there's no way a rock is going to get through a thin tent. No way.
I really like that one.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that creepy.
It's not creepy. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh God, okay.
It's a 3.
Yeah. On the sleepy to spooky scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it probably was Bigfoot, but they ended up being fine, so it's okay.
Yeah. They were more just like inconvenienced and not permitted to sleep.
Sorry, I was sipping my wine.
He's probably mad because he was like, "You're gonna start a fucking fire out here with all these torches."
Exactly. He's being a fire ranger, a park ranger, whatever.
Yeah. He actually works in tandem with Smokey the Bear.
Yogi the Bear. There you go.
Smokey, not Yogi.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
For both of them.
Yeah, they're just like, listen. Destroy my home? Rocks. All right. So
yes.
Our next one comes from Sardine Wolf Panther. Also a great username. My buddies and I were camping in the woods in Yosemite, California. Hopefully you were better with fire than the other idiots. We were the only ones in the area, and we knew this because of the camping registry. We were quite literally the only ones in a 20-mile radius. Anyways, everything was great and normal, and our campsite was on the side of a lake. At night, we shared an 8-man tent. It was cozy with 8 guys in a tent, but not horrible. Yeah, it's kind of nice. You're all like snuggled up. Anyways. At about 3 a.m. the first night, we were all of a sudden woken by one member of our group standing up in the tent and frantically opening the tent door.
Oh, shit.
He poked his head out and began super frantically and nervously saying, "There's someone in our camp." He kept repeating it, and he sounded absolutely terrified. Needless to say, we were fucking horrified that someone might be in our camp because we knew that we were supposed to be alone. Everyone who had just been woken up was looking at each other with mortified looks on our faces. After about 15 seconds of saying that someone in our camp, he laid back down like nothing had happened and slept. The motherfucker was sleepwalking, and there was no one in the camp. It was hard to fall back asleep. That's great.
I would have killed him.
Sounds like your ex. Yeah, maybe it was him. Maybe
maybe it was.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And like no one to check?
Apparently not. Apparently they're like, oh, he's just sleeping. Imagine he like actually just like was aware of someone and someone was just like, oh, I wonder if they have any snacks.
Yeah.
Or like a bear or something.
He like just ducked down and waited because no one went to go check.
Yeah.
You still check people.
Apparently not. I don't know. It's someone else.
I wouldn't trust the registry. Because what is it something that you fill or like whoever's in charge of the park fills it for you?
I don't know. I don't get along well with camping.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
RVing. That's my shit.
I like going to my cottage, which is functionally a house, but with better beach access. I don't know. It's just not my steez.
Because I'm just saying, if it's the registry, if like campers themselves are filling it out, like I could decide to go and not fill it, and then you just assume that I'm not there, but I'm actually there.
I mean, I feel like a place like Yosemite would have some sort of like relatively organized booking system, because like otherwise, like
probably was a serial killer.
Yeah, maybe. And then he was like, "Oh, there's 8 of them. That's just too many."
Can't take
They sound
them.
really, they're so cozy in there. I can't interrupt this. Oh, God. All right. From a different threat. Actually, I mean, for the rating scale, that's not that creepy.
No, like, a 1.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in the moment, totally creepy.
Mhm.
As a reader.
But he was dreaming. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in like a paranormal thread story. This is up your alley.
Mhm.
So, user Ilunibi from about 4 years ago. And now for the story that nobody ever believes, but whatever. It's Reddit. At least I can't feel people staring at me like I'm an idiot. Aw, Ilunibi. I believe you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I think that you're correct, but I believe you. Also, anyways,
We support you.
yeah, we're here for you. You speak your truth. When
Mhm.
I was a kid, I was taking a bath and some lady in a black dress came in and started talking to me. Wow.
Oh my God.
Red hair, very pretty. It freaked me out because I didn't recognize her, but she was nice. Also, she came in and talked to you when you were having a bath. Like, that's a pretty private time. Kept complimenting my toys and being very insistent that I be careful in the water. Then she was gone. Maybe she was a lifeguard.
She was drowned in that tub.
Oh. When I told my mom, she lost her mind because she thought someone broke in and was watching her daughter bathe. Didn't matter how many times I said that she blinked out of existence, she didn't believe me. I mean, who would? Then,
yeah.
Totally. I would have the exact same reaction. I'd be like,
I thought that she, like, when I reacted, I thought that she had said that, like, her mom had seen someone break in.
No, she thought someone had broken in.
Okay.
Then she told my aunt. We were living in the house they both grew up in after my grandmother died, and when my mom made mention of the red-haired lady in black, my aunt went pale. She once saw her in her room when she was a teenager.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So definitely creepier than the previous one.
Oh, that's it? I thought there'd be more.
C'est too.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
She, like, for sure drowned in that tub. That's how she died.
Well, she also visited the sister in her room.
Well, she probably pop by, but like, by the way, don't take a bath. Bye.
By the way, hygiene kills. You heard it here first.
Take a shower instead.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, if you tried hard enough, you could drown in a shower.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Slip and fall.
Yeah, I mean, that would be bad.
Mm-hmm. It hurts. That happened to me once.
Of course it did. It's pretty on brand, my dude.
It really hurt.
Christ, Stephanie. All right. User okay, we're moving on. The _Colonel Click.
Wait, well, no, it's a creepy. It's a 10. That one's a 10.
Okay, 10. I like that.
Rate. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Oh
my God. Okay. The Colonel Clank shares 4 years ago. I was dealing with a patient who had persistent hallucinations, but they were learning to deal with them and no longer flipping out, getting angry, anxious, etc. That's really good.
That's good.
There was one particular instance where he asked me to run my hands along a wall. I got about 2/3 of the way down the wall when the hair on the back of my hand stood up and I actually got goosebumps, but I kept proceeding to the end. He then asked me to go back to the exact same spot to confirm there were not indeed bugs crawling up and down the wall and all over my hands. Of course, I said there's absolutely nothing there, but it still freaks me out to this day. I've talked to a few people casually about it, and we think it might have had something to do with electromagnetic interference and waves, which I could feel and he could see. That's kind of cool.
I'm very confused.
Okay, so he had her like dragging her hands down the wall, and she got to like a specific spot where like the hair on her arms stood up, and she got goosebumps and like it felt funny. And he made her go back to that spot and be like, "Are there bugs crawling there? I see bugs crawling there."
Ew.
Maybe there was like, I don't know if it was like an electromagnetic interference or waves, or like maybe it was like a wiring issue in the house, and like there was some sort of electricity in the air.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how that works.
I go for the zappy zap theory. That makes sense.
Yeah. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Not creepy though.
Yeah, I'd say like more interesting.
Yeah. So like a 1 on the creepy scale, but like a 5 on the interesting scale.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So Jay Wiley shares, this is a longer one.
Okay.
When I was 16 in the mid 90s, aka the I know everything, I'm invincible, and you can't stop me age. Oh, we know it too well. I got in a fight with an acquaintance while a whole bunch of us were hanging out at his house. Stupid fight. Can't remember about what, but I decided, fuck it. I was going home. Oh, I remember reading this. This is a good one. Sorry. I lived about 5 miles away, but I didn't have a car. And since it was 2 a.m., there were no buses. I was going to walk home in the middle of the night through a not as safe as it would seem neighborhood as a tiny 16-year-old girl. So I did.
Decision.
Yeah. Zero girls, like 0 out of 10. Do not do that. Call your mom, call your dad, call your cool family up. Just call someone, not Uber. Call a trusted person who can pick you up or stay if it's safe to.
Have a weapon at least.
Well, just don't go outside. Just don't do it. I mean, not ever. Just like don't go at 2 a.m. when you're 16. That's just not good.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, my friends either didn't believe I was going to do it or were too startled by the sudden argument to realize what I was doing. I left the house and started hoofing it. About a mile out, the suburban housing neighborhood melted into a main street with highway access. Ooh, not good. I started to notice a grayish minivan following me. It would follow me, pass me, turn a corner, and about 3 blocks later, it would do the same thing. I mean, really, really obvious what it was doing. I crossed over to the other side of the street, so I was walking with the opposite of traffic flow, and thus no car could come up behind me. I mean, it could still. It would just go in the other. Anyways, it kept doing it on the other side of the street. About a mile later, there was a 24-hour Fred Meyer, which is a grocery chain in the States. Lights bright, but parking lot empty-ish. I immediately crossed the parking lot and went to head inside. Just before I got to the doors, the minivan that had been following me pulled up into one of the parking spots. A guy called out from the driver's side and said, "I don't want you to walk over here. Just stay there and listen. I just wanted to let you know what I was doing. I saw you a while back, but I also saw a dark car that was following you. A couple times you had to turn around or stop, so it started following you down a parallel side street. When I saw it, I started to follow you just to make sure you were safe. Go inside the store and call someone to come pick you up, please. I haven't seen the car since you headed across the lot." He waited until I was inside the store and then pulled away. I didn't have anyone to call, so I just let the cashier know what was going on and hung out with her for about an hour and a half. Then I finished the walk home. I've never forgotten the incident or that man, whoever he was. During that knock, I never saw the dark car he mentioned. Well, yeah, that's the point. But I've always been convinced that he saved my life that night.
Why didn't he stay, though?
I don't know. I mean, like, maybe he just, like, was scared, too. Like, if someone's other, they're kidnap people. I don't know.
Well, they're not going to kidnap him. He's got a car.
You don't know that. He has a car. No one can kidnap him.
That's scary. That reminds me. So I finished it. So there's this podcast I was listening to. It's Someone Knows Something. And it's a CBC podcast where they go over like cold cases. And there's one case that was like that where they were like, it was a teenager. She was at a party. And then she either got into an argument with a friend or with her ex. And then she like left the driveway. And then they found her dead the following day in a field.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
No one knows.
No, it's
just remind me of that. Ugh. Good thing she's safe, but like dumb.
Yeah, don't do that.
Very
I mean,
dumb.
teenagers do dumb things. Don't do that.
I know.
I was always very lucky. Like when I would go and party, like I was always with like the other lifeguards, and they would always make sure that like we all got home to where we were supposed to go safely.
No. Yeah, not cool.
0 out of 10.
Yeah. That was creepy. That was a good one.
How would you rate it?
I rated a 9.
Okay, I like that because it is really fucking creepy. Also, thankful for that guy in the minivan. That's what you're supposed to do. Don't be a bystander. Be helpful.
Yes.
All right. So user Otrill_Hawk shares. My dad told me when he was little, he used to go stay at my great aunt's house every now and then. He would stay in this room that he described as a nursery. The walls were pink. There's some older furniture in there. It was very motherly. Well, one night, he looked up and saw a woman standing in the doorway. Wasn't threatening. Fuck. She was just watching him, almost like a mother would watch her kids sleep, he told me. The woman dissipated, and my dad went into the kitchen. We, his dad and my great aunt were still up talking. He told his dad he saw a woman standing in the door and asked who she was. And at that moment, my grandfather's eyes widened. He excitedly jumped up from the table, pointed at my great aunt, and said, "I told you, I knew I was not imagining it." Apparently, when he was younger, he too saw the woman in the doorway. Yeah, all these like benign ghosts, just like observing people. It's like, hey.
It's like what is it? It's not active haunt, but it's
Residual?
the word. Yes. That could be it.
Maybe.
It's just like leftover energy.
Yeah, just like
well, especially if they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Just kind of chilling, not really interacting.
Creepy. That was a 6.
I like it. Okay. So user patented, that's a good name too, shares. We moved into a new house a few months ago. We were in the process of purchasing the house. The renter who was living in it died unexpectedly of natural causes in his mid-40s. Oh, that's young.
Mm-hmm.
He died right in the middle of the living room.
Oh.
Shortly after, we move into the house, and it's almost immediately our 2-year-old daughter starts talking about the ghost that lives in our house.
Oh,
now, let's be real here. She is 2, and 2-year-olds are very impressionable. Halloween had recently passed, and she had this Halloween-themed picture book that she'd love to read. So it's entirely possible that all this talk of ghosts was just coming from looking through that book on a regular basis. 100% that would happen.
Or it was the ghost being her like imaginary friend. I'm just saying, she was 2.
Maybe. Still, she was always telling me that the ghost was in her playhouse in the basement, or the ghost was on the stairs, or that the ghost was standing in the corner. She never seemed to be afraid of the ghost and considered him to be her friend. So I wasn't all that... Yeah, like Casper. So I wasn't all that concerned, even if there was really a ghost haunting our house. If he's a nice and helpful ghost, it could certainly be a lot worse. I would often tell the ghost that he was welcome to stay if he wanted to, but he was also welcome to go if that would make him happier. I was about 30-70 on the ghost being real, and she could see and talk to him versus the ghost just being her imagination fueled by her Halloween book. Ellipses. Until one day.
Uh-oh.
When we were going out to the car to go to daycare in the morning. It was still dark out and rainy. My daughter told me that the ghost was on the back deck, and then she told me that today was the ghost's birthday, and she wanted to sing him happy birthday. Once again, I mostly disregarded what she was saying, as she is still birthday obsessed and has in the past made us sing happy birthday to Mickey Mouse, a bowl of fruit snacks, and the bathroom. I love that. So we sang and wished the ghost a happy birthday and went on with our lives. Later on in the day, out of pure curiosity, I looked up the obituary of the man who died in our house, and wouldn't you know it, it was his fucking birthday.
Of course. See, I told you it was a ghost.
So good.
I knew it. That was good. Always believe kids. If they say they see something, there's something there.
I mean,
always.
That's terrifying.
Well, at least you know you're prepared.
I mean, I don't want to have kids, but if Maya starts telling me there's ghosts around,
fucking believe her.
Like, keep that to yourself, kid. I love that child of my life. Anyways, here are some fake.
That was an 8.
Okay, sorry. I keep going past after I'm like, you have to rate these, and then I proceed to not wait for your ratings. Rude. Yeah, I think that's an 8. 8 is very fair. So these are fake ones. These are just like creepypastas that someone just came up with, and this one's pretty short. Okay. So it starts off. This is like from a first person view. Wow. Wow. You guys all enjoyed me having a stroke there. First person view. Daddy, I had a bad dream.
Ah, fuck. I don't like this.
You blink your eyes and pull up on your elbows. Your clock glows red in the darkness. It's 3:23. Do you want to climb up into bed and tell me about it? No, Daddy. The oddness of the situation wakes you up more fully. You can barely make out your daughter's pale from the form in the darkness of your room. Why not, sweetie? Because in my dream, when I told you about the dream, the thing wearing mommy's skin sat up.
Ah!
For a moment, you feel paralyzed. You can't take your eyes off the daughter. The covers behind you begin to shift.
Oh, fuck.
Ah, fuck.
That's gross.
So good. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, good. That was good. That was a 10.
All right, I got another fake one for you.
Okay.
Hope you're ready. Oh, sorry. And these are both from I didn't copy the user's name. I'm sorry, user.
How dare you?
I know. I'm sorry. I mean, they're creepypastas, so
Yeah.
they were copy pasted from someone else. So, anyways, this is a different one. A man went to a hotel and walked up to the front desk to check in. The woman at the desk gave him his key and told him that on the way to his room, there was a door with no number that was locked and no one was allowed in there. Especially no one should look inside the room or under any circumstances otherwise interact with it. Sorry,
okay, like if you're gonna say that, like for sure people are gonna look.
100%. People are just like large children. We're all gonna.
Yes.
So he followed the instructions of the woman at the front desk, going straight to his room and going to bed. The next night, out of his curiosity, would not leave him alone about the room with no number on the door. Why not just pretend it's a closet? Like it's a janitorial closet. Anyways.
Yeah.
He walked down the hall and tried the handle. Sure enough, it was locked. He bent down and looked through the wide keyhole. Cold air passed through it, chilling his eye. What he saw was a hotel bedroom like his, and in the corner was a woman whose skin was completely white. She was leaning her head against the wall, facing away from the door.
Oh, no.
He stared in confusion for a while. He almost knocked on the door out of curiosity, but decided not to. This disinclination saved his life. He crept away from the door and back to his room. The next day, he returned to the door and looked through the keyhole. This time, all he saw was redness. He couldn't make out anything besides a distinct red color, unmoving. Perhaps the inhabitants of the room knew he was spying before and had blocked the keyhole with something red. At this point, he decided to consult the woman at the front desk for more information. She sighed and said, "Did you look through the keyhole?" The man told her he had.
No.
She said, "I might as well tell you the story. There was a man who murdered his wife in the room, and her ghost haunts it. But these people are not ordinary. They were white all over, except for their eyes, which were red."
Ah!
Ugh.
That was good. That was a 10.
But also, like,
Very good.
why would you, like why would you not like fill up the room, or why would you not get rid of the room? Why would you not turn it into storage? Why would you not just empty it? Like, put the, I don't know.
Just don't even mention it.
Yeah, like fill in the get rid of the door. Just put a new wall up.
Oh, like you just leave the door there. Like don't even mention it. Like you're in a hotel, you're gonna walk past doors.
Yeah. Also,
You're
like,
not
don't
gonna
look at
look
other
for
people's
it.
rooms.
No, that's rude, people.
Peeping Tom. Voyeur.
You get what you get.
That's right. So now we're back to the true ones.
Okay.
Allegedly. I mean, it's the internet, so like people can lie. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true.
No one lies on the internet, Emma. Come
No
on.
one.
Come
All right.
on.
All right. Before I start, there's a bit of context to my story. My husband and I lived in a small 2-floor house with 2 main entrances, one along the front and one along the side of the house, which opens up into the laundry room. When we're too busy or it's too late to walk our dog, we hook his collar up to a long line that's attached to one of the pipes in the corner of our house so he can use the bathroom. We used to do this in the door in our laundry room, but we noticed the large step from the door to the ground has been taking a toll on his hips. As a result, we started letting him through the front door since the porch is much closer to the ground. This particular night, I was home alone with my dog, and it was around midnight when I decided to let him outside one last time before going to bed. I hook him up to his line, close the door, and lock it before heading into the kitchen to do the dishes. This is pretty routine. Even if he used the bathroom quickly, he likes to walk around the front of the side of the house for a few minutes before coming back inside. Can confirm Lewis does that too. He needs to smell everything. As I'm putting away the dishes, I hear a scratch on the door. How my dog signals he wants to come inside, so I head over to let him back in. Since I've watched way too many scary movies, I always look through the door's peephole before opening the door. Out of habit, I look to check that my dog is at the front door. Instead, I see a man staring very intently at the door handle.
Oh, fuck.
I freeze my hand on the door handle. I don't know how much time went by, but then I heard another scratch. This one louder than the last. This kind of wakes me up from my initial shock, and I run to grab my cell phone. I call my husband to tell him what's happening. He's very confused.
Call your husband. Call 911.
Honestly. Like, what's he going to do? Like, just teleport? Also, yeah, anyways. I probably wasn't explaining the situation very well, but he says he's heading home.
Oh,
this is when I realized my dog is still outside with this person. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. You gotta fight that person. Go get your dog.
Yeah. 100%. If anyone tries to hurt Lewis,
Ugh, you imagine someone went for Milo? I'd go
I'm
after
saying,
them and their family.
I'm saying this right now. I will throw hands.
Yeah.
I'm not
100%.
scared.
I am
Anyways,
like finishing that bloodline.
Yeah,
No more.
that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we would go full John Wick. Anyways, I head back to the front door, trying to make as little noise as possible. Smart, good. To check whether the stranger is still there. Just like before, he's standing there, head bowed, looking at the doorknob. I tiptoe over to the laundry room and slowly open the door as quietly as possible. I can't see my dog anywhere, and the side of my house is covered with gravel. I know I couldn't step outside without making a lot of noise. With my heart still pounding in my chest, I go to the front door to keep an eye on the stranger and to get a better look at him. I considered calling the police, but I didn't feel they would take me seriously.
There's someone fucking outside.
Oh my god, since all this man was doing was standing in front of my house. I tried to take a picture of him with my cell phone, but my camera was only able to take pictures of the peephole and not the images behind the glass. All of a sudden, the man looks up directly at me. I swear he knew I was there. He glares at me, then opens his mouth to show this taunting, malicious grin. He stood there that way for a few seconds. With that, he turns around and starts to walk towards the street. I stay in the same place, almost expecting him to rush back and start pounding on the door. Luckily, my husband caught back after a few minutes. Long story short, he convinced me to call the police. Perfect. Love that. And we went looking out for a dog. It turns out the man had cut the line connected to the pipe, and our dog decided this was a good time for him to go explore my neighbor's backyard, which is where we found him. Good. It's been 3 years since this happened, but we've since moved to a new house for unrelated reasons, and the police weren't able to come up with any suspects. Since then, we take our dog on...
You waited too long.
Yeah, honestly. We take our dog on very long walks before the sun goes down. Okay, I want to make this very clear. If someone is trying to get access to your house, call the police. Like, just that is not something that you need to endanger yourself or your dog or your family or anyone else for.
Or like fucking book it.
I mean,
Go
like,
to your
I would
car and drive away.
Like, just call the police.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that was
Jesus
a 10.
Christ. Yeah, that one
creepy.
actually like makes me also aggravated.
Okay, oh yeah, so she did everything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get why there are people that don't feel safe calling the police, and that's very valid.
Oh yeah,
but like,
someone's outside your door.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay, so this is a fake one. This is what's called this is like a no sleep story. So okay. Reddit has this subreddit called No Sleep, which is just like creepy stories, and like people write them as though that they're true, and people interact with them as though they're true.
Okay,
that's kind of like the whole like premise of that subreddit.
Okay,
so this is a cool one, especially because you like aliens and stuff. So, I'm just gonna read it like kind of in character.
Okay.
This is Colonel
Very
Jacob
nice.
Wayne.
A performance.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure I'll have commentary throughout, but I'll try to hold my commentary till the end.
Okay.
Because I thought this was a really cool piece. This is Colonel Jacob Wayne of the United States Air Force. If you're reading this right now, it is very important that you keep reading until the end. It should take 3 to 5 minutes, and it is extremely important that you read carefully and follow the instructions provided. Humor me if you must. But please don't look away until you've finished reading. Oh, and please try to stay calm. Any increase in stress will draw their attention. Ergo, I won't go into detail as to how you got where you are. How you got here isn't as important as getting you out. Believe me when I say we are working on that right now, and the best way to help yourself is to keep reading. Don't scan ahead. Don't read aloud. Just read. Right now, you're probably thinking back on the past few days, and nothing felt out of the ordinary. You went about your regular daily activities with nothing unusual to report. That's because they are very good. So good that most people don't even realize they're in the simulation.
Oh.
Even as our code works its way deeper into their program, they are monitoring you, so please remain calm. It was tricky, but we found a way to communicate directly with you. We had to embed this message into your daily routine so it didn't draw their attention. You're probably reading this on Reddit, Facebook, or some other social media site. Might even be in an email forward or a book. We don't know. We can't control how this message gets to you. We only know that you're receiving it. Subliminally, as your eyes are passing over these words, a code is being uploaded into your brain. Think of it as a computer virus, or in this case, an antivirus. Your brain is an organic computer, and they exploited that. They hacked right into your subconscious mind and overrode it with their simulation code. That's how they got in, and that's why everything appears normal. You might think you're going about your daily life, but in reality, you're strapped to a table with tubes sticking out of your body. Now that the code is uploading, you may begin to feel some sensations. For example, one ear might feel slightly warmer than the other. You might even feel an itch or tickle. Don't scratch, just let it be. Ignore the dull background hum you might hear as well. That's their program. If they catch on before our code has time to work, they will abort the simulation. If that happens, you will be lost to us. Oh, and don't be alarmed, but by now, they realize we are in their system. You may notice some small changes, specifically a slight shortness of breath, or that you have to control your breathing manually. This is normal. We know from other forms of communication attempts that whenever they discover a code break-in, the first system they power down is the one controlling your breathing. Thankfully, even in the simulation, you are capable of breathing manually. Try it. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Awesome. You're doing just fine. They probably figured that there's a glitch, but if our code is working, we've disabled their ability to do a hard reboot. They will try other methods to disrupt the upload. It is very important that you ignore anything that might draw your attention from these words. If they pull you away before the upload completes, it will delete our code. Block them out. Ignore the movements that you see in your peripheral vision. The sounds you hear, the voices, they aren't family, friends, or coworkers in need of your attention. They may even try to use your pets. They know your weaknesses. Overlook the notifications popping up on your screen if you're on a phone or computer. Block them all out until you finish reading. It's just another way they'll try to break our communication link. Evidently, if our code is working, the next thing you'll notice is the overwhelming urge to swallow. You don't realize it, but there's a feeding tube down your throat. You only know it's there because your tongue won't rest comfortably in your mouth. You might also become hyper aware of the amount of saliva being produced. Don't overreact. If you have to swallow, just swallow. It's only weird if you make it weird. So, if you're reading this, the code upload is about 90% complete. We've logged onto your location. You're doing great, but you really need to focus now. Once the upload is complete, there will be instructions that you will need to follow to exit the simulation. That is, if you follow the instructions and haven't looked away. Complicating the matter is that they know we're here, and they know what we're doing. Their attempts to divert your attention through the simulation proved unsuccessful, so now they're going to use your body systems against you. They are in your brain. They want you to blink, don't blink. Your life depends on keeping your eyes open. Almost there. Just a few more paragraphs until the code upload is complete. Don't scan down or up, just keep reading. I got you this far. Stay with me. Eyes open, eyes front, keep them locked on the screen. Please focus. I don't want to lose you. I've lost so many already. Ignore it all. Block everything out. Ignore the tickle on your scalp, the itch on your arm. That's them attempting a manual override. Don't give up now. You've made it this far. Fight it. You're almost there. Just follow the instructions below and we can get you out. Embedded in this text are the steps you need to follow to unplug from the simulation. If we did this correctly, the first letter of each paragraph will tell you what you need to do. Don't look yet. The upload still needs to finish. I hope you didn't look. Upload complete. We've done everything we can on this end. See you on the other side. Steph, do you want to know what the paragraphs say if you look at the first letter?
Yeah.
There is no way to escape us.
Oh, that's mean.
Oh, rats!
That was very good. People have some talent. That was good.
Oh yeah. Also, the user who wrote that was Right Chris Wright. Talented writer.
Oh, very good.
So talented.
Mm-hmm.
So talented.
Good job. I forgot his name. Person.
Right, Chris Wright?
Yes, him. Good job. Or her. Or
Yeah.
they.
Oh, sorry. I skipped a story by accident. But first, why would you rank that one?
6.
Yeah, I didn't find it scary, but I found it like compelling.
Yeah. It was a good story.
Mm-hmm. So for our second last one, this is a true story.
Ooh.
Or so they say. And it's from That's
No one lies, Emma. It's true.
No one lies on the internet.
No.
So it starts off with there are already 3,022 submissions, so this will probably get buried, but here's my true story. It did not get buried. That's a Padlin. It did not. In the late 70s, my uncle was studying medicine at the University of Chicago. After a morning class, he decided he would hitchhike back to Lincoln Park on the north side to pay for a taxi, or instead of paying for a taxi. A man drove up in a Plymouth Satellite and offered my uncle a ride. The man looked normal and seemed friendly, lighthearted even. So my uncle got in the car and they started driving towards Lakeshore Drive. However, once they got there, the man drove south on Lakeshore instead of north towards Lincoln Park. My uncle told the man he was going the wrong way and to turn around and head north. The man looked at my uncle, put his hand on his knee and said, "No, son, you're coming with me," and smiled darkly at him.
Sam.
My uncle froze in panic and went, well, Son of Sam was shooting people.
Well, maybe he tried something new this time.
Well, you're going to see. You're going to see. My uncle froze in panic, and when they hit traffic near the South Shore, he quickly unlocked the passenger door and ran away without looking back. A year or two later, on a cold December day, my uncle was having coffee with my future aunt when he caught something on the TV that made his blood run cold. He saw the man that had picked him up from school that day the year before. He had been arrested for the suspected rape and killing of over 20 young men and boys. The man on television was John Wayne Gacy, and he had removed the door handle off the passenger side door to prevent the man he picked up from escaping.
Do you think it was his first?
I don't know.
Probably was.
That's wild, though, eh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was good. I love this. I love even the, I don't know where I read this, but there's a bunch of stories like Ted Bundy's, almost killings.
Yeah.
Those are they're not interesting. It's sad, but that was good.
So intense. Mm-hmm. I know there's a celebrity who escaped. I think it was Ted Bundy.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like there was. Anyways, this is for a future day.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my favorite of these stupid like creepypastas?
Yes.
It's really short. This is the last one.
Wait, I have to rate.
Oh, sorry. Okay, right. Every time I know.
That was a 9.
Glad you liked it.
Yes,
definitely worth the rating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is my favorite one. It is like 3 sentences long.
Okay.
So stupid. So you're with your honey and you're making out when the phone rings. You answer it and the voice is, "What are you doing with my daughter?" You tell your girl and she say, "My dad is dead." Then who was phone?
That's it?
That's it. It's like, I don't know why it brings me so much joy. There's like a couple of things like that. Like there's this like cover art for a children's book that someone like brilliantly repurposed, and I think it's of like Peter Rabbit or something, but instead it's like, "Oh Christ, it's this asshole again." It's the title, and like the rabbit's just away. Anyways, we'll post it on a story or something if we remember to. But yeah, so good, so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you rate that, Steph?
This is a 2. It's too short.
Oh, wow, okay. Jesus.
It had potential.
It had potential. But who was phone? Christ.
It's good.
Well, shit, guys. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to do one of these.
That's it?
That's it. I mean, Stephanie, it's like an hour long.
I know. It's good, though. It's interesting.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it'd be great to do with like listener stories. So by all means, guys, by all means, send us stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Remember to like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And listen to our stories.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for vibing. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Creepy Vibes Only. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook by searching for Creepy Vibes Only Podcast. We absolutely appreciate and love your support, and you can do so by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribing to the show wherever you listen. If you wish to get in touch with us, you can send us an email at cvopodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voice message on our podcast's page on Anchor. We will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Did you just throw your entire room around?
Everything keeps falling.